Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Adrian. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's going to be time for some March of the Eagles as Austria. So, we haven't even paused yet. It's 1st of January, 1815. We're going to go ahead and pause now because we declared war on Baden and Württemberg. Let's go ahead and make it happen. So, the first opening move we're going to do is we're going to march in our troops into Ulm, and we're going to bring in some reinforcements. These 20,000 from Innsbruck. We're going to go to Ulm as well and reinforce those men. We're actually going to start to engage some of these small stacks here. We're going to engage this 8 stack, and should be a pretty decisive victory. They actually lost 5,000 men here, and we lost about 1,000 or so. So this screen, this is a battle screen here, very similar to Europa Universalis IV. It brings up, what you got in morale, or what you got in prestige. If you got any war exhaustion will always increase as losses pile up, and it decreases over time if you're at peace, right? So it doesn't decrease when you're at war, and you actually can't buy it down. So wars kind of have to be kind of quick sometimes. There's no real way to keep yourself fighting a war forever. And then you actually gain ideas by, usually you gain idea points to discover new ideas with. You gain idea points when you lose, not really when you win, but having, idea points one way or another is always awesome. And then it will actually tell you here in the center what your war score change. By defeating the enemy major battles, you actually do get a lot of war score. And then that's about it. Let's see here. Logistics modifier. So it'll kind of give you a breakdown of like this logistics modifier here. So there's a bonus in combat efficiency thanks to the availability of enough supply wagons, allowing easy replenishment and ammunitions for your troops. So the more supply you have, the better supplied your troops are. The more they're able to fight better. They're confident in what they're doing. They're not really at risk of being cut off and all sorts of stuff. And so you can actually even come down here. And what's very interesting about this battle system that hasn't actually made its way to new games like Europa Universalis IV, Crusader Kings 2, is that there's actually like a little AAR section here, an after action report. This will actually tell you, or it'll come up with interesting stories about what's happened during battles, right? So on 10th of January, in hour 10 of this battle, Ferdinand Heinrich Prinz zu Hessen-Homburg sallied forth his cavalry on the Austrian left flank to raid and harass the enemy. Right, so it'll tell you like how the battle played out, interesting hours of the battle, all that kind of stuff. Very interesting stuff. I'm not gonna be reading through those, but if you want to, kind of role play, if you wanted to, you actually could with this after action report. Or like hour 17 of this battle, of the Battle of Nordlingen, knowing that the enemy should be allowed no rest, Ferdinand Heinrich Prinz zu Hessen-Homburg on the Austrian left flank ordered his cavalry to launch a raid on his foe. All right, so interesting stuff like that, interesting after action reports. And then these are traits or tactics here. When your leaders level up, they actually do get these new traits and these new tactics they learn. So your generals can become very, very good at warfare, and it'll let you know what they've learned, what experience they've gained, what kind of traits that they've acquired over their career. So here we just killed 4,300 men. We're gonna go ahead and actually get these 2 stacks, I think, merged up a little bit. So when you march into a province that's not owned by a city or a fortress, you automatically occupy it. It's just instantly. Kind of similar to Europa Universalis IV right now. Let's see, let's go ahead and merge these guys up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and merge these 2 stacks up. So now it's 1 stack with new leaders. We got 4,600 guard infantry, 21,000 line infantry, 3,300 cavalry, 3,300 artillery, 2,300 light infantry, no militia, and we have a couple supply wagons. So we're going to march on in here and try and siege down Ulm. And so this is the siege screen, very, very simple. We're taking 7% attrition. It's pretty high, actually. There is a city here and a fortress, so we're going to have to just kind of be patient and just wait for the fortress to, to give in. There is very, very short siege ticks. They're usually about 10 days, 5 days, 10 days. So for now, we haven't really damaged this fort at all. We have now surrounded the fort. The fortress has sustained light damage, and the garrison lacks supplies. So we've surrounded the fort. We're just going to have to wait. Sieges are fairly quick, though, because we do have a lot of artillery. We also do have plenty of supply, right? We're not really at risk of being, terribly undernourished. We have food, we have ammunition, we have clothing, and so all we have to do is just kind of be patient. We've actually inflicted a fair amount of damage on the fortress, and there's actually a wall breach. So we'll be in the fortress here in just a little bit. There also is a log here if you have some trouble you know, keeping up with events. I don't like to use it, but it's useful. You can actually there is a ledger. I actually never knew that there was a ledger. You can even go to your armies. You can actually see like your overall armies and see how many troops you have, your manpower. It'll tell you, you know, how much manpower you've had at the beginning of a war, and then how much manpower you had at like the end. Whether you've lost a lot of troops or you've recruited a lot of troops, all sorts of stuff. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. It'll actually also show you what types of wars are going on right now. So Prussia and Denmark are at war, Russo-Persian War, Anglo-French War, whole bunch of stuff. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome stuff. Very useful. We do have some map modes here. We have a terrain map mode, political map mode, diplomatic map mode, dominance map mode. It's kind of like a victory point map mode. We do have a culture map mode actually, which I think is very interesting here. They have cultures in here that used to not be included in like Europa Universalis IV and stuff like that. They have like Bosniak, Serbian, Albanian here, Bulgarian, Romanian, Turkish. That's some Georgian, Armenian, Kurdish, Persian, Eastern Arabic, Southern Arabic. Very, very interesting stuff here. Caucasian doesn't always exactly make sense. Like Georgian, Armenian, Greek Orthodox here. Like some people have, you know, complained about culture groups that they're not exactly accurate sometimes. All sorts of stuff. People complain a lot. But I don't know. I've always thought that the cultures and stuff and the detail that Paradox has put into the game is pretty spot on. I've never thought there was really an issue. You know, some people do though. Some people do sometimes. Okay, so our armies are ready to invade Prussia, and Prussia is a little busy, I suppose. So we might want to attack them sometime soon. We just took Ulm, actually. Wow, I did not know we had finished that siege. Very, very cool. Looks like our little satellite buddy of the HRE is being sieged down here. We're gonna have to try and help him out a little bit. So armies move very, very quickly. In a matter of days, we can move provinces around, but it looks like, let's see, the Battle of Ulm. They actually they actually assaulted the fortress here, and they actually retook Ulm. These are the Württembergians. So we can actually come back here to Ulm, and since there is no garrison, there's actually a very small garrison. We can actually just assault the fortress. We can actually just take it. So we own Ulm. We're gonna want to own Stuttgart. Here it is. There's actually no fortress here. There doesn't appear to be a fortress. There's a supply depot, but there is no fortress. So I could theoretically just like assault the town if I wanted to. There's no fortress defending the city, so I don't really have to wait that long for anything to happen. I can even just assault it, and we actually should be just fine. We didn't even lose any men in the assault. Yeah. So we now fully occupy Württemberg. I can go ahead and just annex them if I wanted to. 100% annexation. There it is. We demand the full annexation. Austria gains 20 prestige as the attacker. We've annexed Württemberg. There's no more that they can do. We're going to go ahead and march on to some stuff over here. This is Baden. We're going to try and annex Baden a little bit. As you can see here, you can support incredibly large amounts of troops in Stuttgart here. 104,000 men can actually stay in Stuttgart if you wanted to. We actually just sieged this down very, very quickly. Wow, that was really quick. So we're going to want to go for Freiburg. Freiburg, I guess. Actually, it doesn't look like Baden has fortified really anything over here. So, be curious. Yeah, I guess we're going to take Freiburg here in just a little bit. I could probably assault it as well. Might as well just go ahead and do that. I think we did lose some troops here. The enemy lost 152. We lost 766. So it's not always good to assault places. You want to try and avoid it if you can. We're going to go ahead and annex this territory. And that's it. So we've annexed Baden-Württemberg. And now I think we're going to engage the Prussians. It looks like they're actually having a couple problems against Sweden. Who else are they at war with? Yeah, they're at war with Denmark, Sweden, huh? So they're having some problems here. Saxony is their satellite, so we're going to want to invade Saxony here. We do have 600 ducats. There is an argument to be made to actually maybe fortify some of this area over here. We can build what are called depots. These are supply depots. A depot will greatly increase the nation's force limit as well as lessen the burden of maintenance on our armed forces. So depot levels are always awesome. You know, building roads and depots and stuff just helps you have more troops. I think we're gonna march this. Let's march this 35,000 up to Teplitz, and then I think we're gonna be ready to invade pretty soon. It's already July 1805. Time goes by very quickly here. Let's go and appoint some commanders. I usually just sort by overall expertise, and that's about it. Let's see here. Great Britain is actually trying to improve relations with me. That's pretty cool. Let's see here. I could reorganize these flanks a little bit. It can get incredibly complicated, I will admit. It can get pretty pretty complicated very quickly. Very quickly. It's not really easy to sort out your stacks and such. It's not that easy. Maybe I'll explain it a little bit. Like, I can probably just take this 92,000 stack. Let's take a look here. So we have some supply trains and such. This brigade hasn't captured any flags in combat. Apparently you can capture enemies' flags in combat. That's pretty cool. Let's go and take a look here. Have we done that? Have we captured any flags recently? I don't think so. There's not one captured flag. Batiche artillery. Cool. Yeah, there also is experience. There's experience per brigade, actually. There's experience per brigade. So as the more that your brigades fight, they actually will be experienced. So all these little brigades actually are unique brigades that really do have their own experience and such. So it's pretty cool, but it can get very, very, very complicated very quickly. Russia wants some access. I believe they are at war with France. We're gonna go ahead and let them have some access here. So if I can select in this diplomatic map mode, Russia. They're at war with all of that. So we will be eventually too. We're not gonna really join the British and the Russians and such right now in fighting this war, but maybe eventually we will. Just not right now. It's not time. I want to invade Prussia and get, you know, some stuff from Poland and maybe even, you know, hopefully maybe release like Saxony or something. That'd be pretty cool. I can actually go to the fort level map mode and see what types of forts these guys have. So these are cities, but these are actually forts. These are legitimate forts. So we should keep an eye on those forts and try and siege them down and do what we can. You know, we might actually split this army. Let's see here. We have 75,000 men available for recruitment and replenishment. I'm not gonna lie, you burn through manpower pretty quickly in this game, so we really probably shouldn't build that many troops with this. I think we are ready for war. We're gonna go ahead and I think declare war on Prussia. I don't believe they have any allies. There actually is no such thing as an alliance in this game. You actually have to be a part of a coalition, or guarantees and things like that are your only other way of having allies or people protect you. So, let's see. Prussia is an enlightened despotism. They are at war with Denmark, Sweden, and Oldenburg. We're gonna go ahead and declare war, and they have a, you know, Saxony as a satellite. We're gonna want to invade Saxony as well. And let's go ahead and march into, how about Warsaw? We're gonna send this 45,000 stack to Breslau. We have plenty of supply usually around everywhere. I might want to split this stack here. We have 54,000 light infantry here. Very curious. So it's not exactly, even though it's 92,000 men, it's not exactly what you think. It might be, you know, like a glass cannon, something like that. It's not too durable. We'll keep some troops here in Klostenz. Or no, we'll keep some troops in Olmütz as reserves, I think. We're going to march into Dresden and I think Dresden and Leipzig. I think that should be fine. Dresden actually is just a city. It's not protected by, you know, anybody. No fortress or anything like that. So we're just going to need to occupy the city and that's about it. Let's see here. Battle of Leipzig. We did engage some people here. Good, good, good. You can actually garrison certain fortresses here. When you see this flag, it actually means that there is a garrison here. You can actually select the garrison. And there are what are called line garrison divisions. So I can actually come over here and I can select this. It's a line garrison brigade. So line garrison brigades are actually able to be garrisoned inside fortresses. They're kind of expensive. They're kind of a waste of manpower, but especially on important fronts, it's actually very much worth having line garrisons and depot garrisons and things like that. So you can actually even click on, you know, you can click on your war here, Third War of Austrian Aggression, right, against Prussia and Saxony. You can click on it, and it'll actually tell you, you know, how much manpower somebody has, their blockade percentage, war exhaustion here. I believe war capacity is, I think it's supposed to mean war enthusiasm. It's not exactly explained. I'm pretty sure it's how much they're either capable or willing to wage war. I'm pretty sure it's war enthusiasm. And you can even come down here and it'll actually show you the relative strengths of most people. So they have like 43,000 line infantry, 28.4 thousand guards, you know, 21,000 cavalry, things like that. We actually just won the siege of Leipzig. Very, very good. We're going to be taking Dresden here. Dresden is the capital of Saxony. We'll be taking that hopefully pretty soon. Let's see here. We just took Prussia, Silesia. Very, very excellent. Let's go ahead and march up to Warsaw. We're going to want to go for... I think Glogau. I want to go for Glogau. Let's see here. We have units that are out of supply. So this guy here in Warsaw is out of supply. He didn't have enough... here in Warsaw, he didn't have enough supply to last him forever, so we need to hopefully get him some supply here pretty soon, or at least merge up some supply lines and maybe have him swap out with another stack. That's possible. I think actually, in fact, we will probably do that. Let's go and come up here to Warsaw. We'll just swap the stack. We'll send this guy back to friendly terrain, and we'll take this reserve stack, and we'll have him come back and take over that siege. We'll go to Cottbus. Cottbus is a fortress, so... we just took the siege. Oh, we just won the siege of Warsaw. Very nice. Actually, we can go ahead and just swap that guy out now. Send him back to friendly terrain here. We need to replenish 16,000 men already. Attrition is pretty bad in this game. Attrition really, like you thought Europa Universalis IV attrition was bad. It's pretty bad in this game. So always just something to keep in mind. Let's see. It looks like Louis Bonaparte, the King of Holland, has been appointed King of Holland. Louis Bonaparte was actually very sympathetic to the Dutch, and so Napoleon kind of didn't like his brother for a while. We just took siege, we just took Glowitz, so we just finished that siege. So let's go and march up here to Losch. The Russians have invaded Prussia. Really? Oh wow, they must be going for Poland as well. We just won the siege of Glogau. Let's go ahead and come back here for friendly terrain for a second, just to replenish a little bit. Okay, so our siege of Prussia, this is actually going very, very well. It's going very well, actually. Yeah, really good. Let's see, we can actually acquire a new idea. I think we're going to go for this this Austrian idea, the spy network here. National revolt risk -2. We don't actually have any revolt risk right now. But what I'm looking for, well, we actually have a little bit. But what I'm looking for is the manpower modifier ideas. We need to get to those. So we should definitely push for those. Let's see, what's going on over here? This is Westphalia. Westphalia is over here. I want to go for Erfurt and maybe Bayreuth. Let's actually go for Bayreuth here. Cottbus, we're going to stay there. I think the Prussians are definitely, they're out of men. I think they're pretty busy. Karl von Oestreich, 8% attrition here. That's very, very bad. That's pretty high. Especially when you run out of supply, it gets even worse. Yeah, so the Russians, I think, are trying to take most of Poland from the Prussians. So, we might have to consider our bargaining position here. Yeah, it's already March 1806, so we've been we played over a year of the game, actually. We have to reinforce 32,000 men, and only 163 will reach the armies each day. Yeah, so when you're in enemy territory, you really don't ever replenish your forces, ever. You really need to be in friendly terrain to replace losses and such. Look at this here. Holy crap, we just took 3 forts, or 3 cities without really any problem. Nice. So we occupy a lot of territory, we'll admit. Let's go for Magdeburg. We're going to go for Berlin. We're going to go for Berlin. And then we're actually going to stay in, I think, occupied territory here for a second. Taking a little bit of attrition. Placements needed, 6,000 men. So you can actually select on a stack and you can come up here to the attrition and actually tell you how much men you need. If you're in friendly terrain, you actually replace men very, very quickly. Let's go for Augustau. We're going to go for Posen. And I think maybe Danzig or Königsberg. I think Thorn's being sieged down by the Russians. Let's actually go ahead and maybe come back to friendly terrain for a second. The French is now the leading power on the land. Okay, very interesting. Yeah, so in friendly terrain, you can see here monthly replacement rate 30%. So after 3 months, you can replace all your losses. Whereas in enemy terrain, you really don't replace that much. So monthly replacement rate is 8%, but you're taking 5% attrition. So really, your effective is only 3%. So something to consider. I think we're gonna stay here. Actually, we just won the siege of Posen. So for Kustrin, and then we're gonna want to go for Frankfurt on Main. Oh, that's Frankfurt on the Oder, on the Oder River. Do you guys need replacements? You don't. I think you're just taking attrition. No replacements are needed here. Wow, we just took Berlin, man. Damn. In the capital of Prussia. Nice. Okay. Stettin's occupied, so we're gonna occupy all of this. We just took Berlin, so we have a lot of war score here. But the thing is peace deals are a little weird in this game. Peace deals require a shit ton of war score. Taking even just a few states can actually just be like a whole war's worth. But truces also last a very short amount of time in this game. So yeah, Prussia wants out. They want to leave. Let's go ahead and occupy these two forts since we already have Berlin. Let's just go on a little longer. And I think I will probably take Bayreuth. I definitely want a lot of Polish territory, but I don't know if the Prussians will give it to me. Breslau, Silesia, and Glogau will definitely probably be mine. We have a lot of men to replace. New Catechism. They tell us of a new catechism on 4th of April 1806. A decree was passed imposing an imperial catechism for use in all the churches of France, written in the same question and answer style as the catechism used by the Roman Catholic Church. The imperial catechism taught its readers how and why to venerate their new emperor. Taxes and military service became integral parts of Christian duty. The papal legate had approved the document as agreed by the Concordat of 1802. So Napoleon Bonaparte, I guess, had issued the imperial catechism. Let's see here. So as you can see here, since I actually selected this force, and I think it's because I selected on the town. I think it's because I selected on the town, but we actually automatically garrison this force. You can actually just forget how you do that. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. It's actually kind of curious. I wonder if it just does it automatically. Let's take a look. Wow, we're moving very slowly because we have so much artillery, probably, and the supply trains. Moving very slowly. We want to take Magdeburg and Kustrin. Let's see here. We just took Kustrin right there. It's occupied by us. Nice. What about Magdeburg? There's a fortress there. Yep. So it's going to take a little bit here. Let's see, we need to replace a lot of troops. We have a little bit of war exhaustion, 0.84. It's not too bad. It can be a maximum of 20. So 0.84 is nothing. Above like 6 or 7, that's when you start to get into pretty serious numbers. So do you garrison troops automatically? I wonder. Oh, so yeah, all you have to do is really just kind of select on the province. So I guess maybe they do garrison automatically if you're in a city. That's pretty good, yeah. So that's kind of cool, kind of interesting to know. Most of these are just garrisons. They're not actual forces. They're not troops. Even Vienna actually doesn't have any garrison there at all. So, all right. So let's see. Can I make a peace deal here? We have 61% war score. Can I make a peace deal with Prussia? I want a total victory and a demand of a province will most likely be accepted. Right, so this is the war score peace deal screen. So I could demand like Saxony. I can demand some Saxon stuff here. I don't believe you could fully annex satellites. I don't think you can actually do that. You can cancel a satellite and he'll give you the satellite. But so like I can have Prussia cancel Saxony as a satellite and he's gonna give it to me. So I can tell him to do that, and I think I will actually. And then I'd love like these 3 provinces here, and then maybe we'll attack Poland, or attack for Poland sometime else. I actually need a little more war score if that's going to happen, but I'm almost for sure I can't really occupy any of this. The Russians, I believe, are trying to occupy some of this territory. Let's go and find out, huh? We're still trying to take Magdeburg as well. So we just took Magdeburg. I can have him release the Grand Duchy of Warsaw, which is historical Poland, but unlikely that he would. It's actually too much war score, right? So he won't do it anyway. Saxony, and I mean, like, can I take like these 3? They would not accept this offer. I could take Breslau and Glowitz. Possibly he would accept that. Yeah, actually, I think he would. Ooh, look at this. We actually never occupied Bayreuth. I would love to take Bayreuth. Let's take a look at that. Just demand some tribute here. I could take like Erfurt, give me Saxony, maybe Bayreuth, and then maybe Glowitz and Silesia. I wonder what happens when we do that. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, Prussia wants a peace deal for sure. I'm actually not entirely certain if there is anything like a call for peace. I don't believe there is, actually. So, all we have to do is just kind of fight until he's willing to surrender. You know, until he's willing to give up. There's actually no fortress here in Bayreuth, so we should take this after just a little while. Yeah, just a few days, actually, and he sustains very heavy damage. So we're replenishing a lot of troops here. You can see our manpower does dwindle over time. It actually does go down quite a bit. There we go. So we just took Bayreuth, and let's see here. Prussia was overwhelmed by their mighty opponent, and the general cried with his whole army, while his whole army cowardly deserted. That's interesting. So let's come over here. So give me, how about Erfurt and Bayreuth, and give me Saxony. Would you accept that offer? Would you give me money? I don't really need the money, but he'd actually also give me Glowitz. You can just take Breslau, or I could take Glogau. He would accept that as well. Yeah, so why don't you give me, how about Bayreuth and Erfurt, and give me Glogau, and then release Saxony to me as a vassal. That should be pretty damn good. And he would accept this. So I can go ahead and demand that from him, and that's it. Prussia will cede Bayreuth, Erfurt, Milhausen, Halbstadt, Glogau, Gorlitz to me, and Prussia will end the satellite status of Saxony, and I get 20 prestige from that. Awesome. So there it is. So our territory has expanded. Saxony is now my vassal here, and he's actually got very good relations with me because we are, you know, he's my vassal, right? He belongs to me. And then we took Erfurt and Bayreuth. Very, very good stuff. Okay. So what are we going to do now? Well, eventually we'll want to invade Prussia again, but for now I think we will move all of our armed forces possibly into position to maybe attack Bavaria or something. Independence guaranteed by France and Prussia. I can see all the French garrisons here. Landau, Strasbourg, Colmar, Mainz. Let's see, who's this guy? Hessen. Hessen, independence guaranteed by France, Prussia, and Denmark. Yeah, so very curious. Sweden actually does own a little bit of, they actually annexed Mecklenburg from what it looks like. Oldenburg is up here as well. Hessen, Saxony. I can go for like Brunswick if I wanted to. Brunswick is in a coalition. Oh, Brunswick is a satellite of France. Very curious. Very curious stuff. We can invade the Ottomans if I wanted to. I don't think they're up to much. They're actually at war with France and France's allies. He has Egypt, Wallachia, and Moldavia as satellites. Possibly an invasion of the Ottoman Empire would be in order. Let's actually go ahead and select all of our stacks. We'll go ahead and move on out that way, I think. We're going to want some troops here in Esseg. Okay. And I could even probably, I should build, maybe in like Glogau, I should build possibly a depot. Improve the development maybe a little bit. Bayreuth could probably use, if not a fort, Beirut could use maybe some more development. Not a bad idea. Maybe a depot actually, and Erfurt could probably use a depot as well. Let's see here. I should go to Vienna. Let's go ahead and go to Vienna, my capital province, and we want to improve its development. Civilized development will make the province civilized and provide more taxes, supplying conscripts than a developed province. So most stuff is developed. Some of it's not, but most of it is. You'd hope that most of it is. There's some stuff that's really not here, you know. I'm not sure if it shows you that though. I'm not sure if it shows you. I don't think it does. No, I don't believe it shows you. It doesn't show you development level, which is curious. It'll show you economy, like what's rich and what's poor. So Glogau isn't very rich, but it is worth something, you know. Especially if we build a depot there and then improve its development even more, it'll be worth even more. It'll give me more taxes, more conscripts, right? We have no war exhaustion. We have some manpower coming back. And hopefully once we get some more ideas, which we should be getting here, I believe it's 200 points for an idea. Yeah. 200 points for an idea, and we gain 15 each month, but we gain more from fighting battles. So hopefully we can invade Moldavia, Wallachia here in the Ottomans, and maybe take Bosnia or something, or get Wallachia and Moldavia released to me. Who knows? I don't know yet. Any dominance victory points over here? Bosnia, yeah, Belgrade, Serbia needs to belong to me, so we'll have to make that happen. We also do need to take Breslau, Silesia. Yeah, we actually do need to get to Rovno and Kiev in Russia if we ever want a dominance victory. And then Italy also does have Florence and Milan. We also do need to get to Antwerp if we want a naval victory. There's a naval and a land victory, and those two are mentioned up here. We have 31 unemployed leaders, some generals, some admirals. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll invade the Ottomans here in the next episode, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and take a break here, guys. Thanks so much for watching, as always. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think about this game. Comment below. I want to hear what you guys think. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thanks so much.